Okay, quick party test. Imagine I pull out my phone and show you a close-up photo of a lotus seed pod, or bubble wrap, or a sponge. If your stomach just did a tiny backflip, if your skin went nope, congrats! Your brain just revealed a survival setting you didn't know you had. Now, second test. Picture a clown, not even doing anything, just standing there. If your brain immediately went, I don't trust that thing, same deal. Today we're doing two of the weirdest fears humans have, trypophobia, the whole thing, and coulrophobia, fear of clowns. And I promise you, these are not just random fears. Your brain is running ancient software, and it kind of glitches in the modern world. Here's the mistake people make. We hear fear of holes and fear of clowns, and we go, huh, that's silly. But your brain isn't being dramatic, it's being efficient. The brain's number one job isn't to make you happy, it's to keep you alive long enough to have snacks tomorrow. So it uses shortcuts, fast pattern detectors, danger alarms, and sometimes those systems misfire. Trypophobia often links to disease avoidance. Coulrophobia often links to the uncanny valley, that eerie, almost human confusion. Let's start with the holes. First, a quick detail people miss. Trypophobia isn't always a clean, simple fear. A lot of people describe it as disgust, or itchy skin, or nausea, goosebumps, like you need to look away immediately. Because fear is the alarm that says run from the predator, but disgust is the alarm that says avoid contamination. Different system. So here's a check. If you've ever seen a clustered hole image and you felt itchy, like your pores were being personally attacked, your brain might be doing this. It's scanning for visual patterns that historically often showed up alongside infected tissue, parasites, skin disease, and sometimes even poisonous animals that have warning-like textures and high-contrast patterns. Not because a lotus pod is dangerous, but because that pattern, high-contrast clusters, repeated bumps or holes, can resemble things that spread. So your brain basically slams the get away from that button. And here's a weird little add-on. Sometimes you don't just think ill, you feel itchy because your brain is imagining what if that were on skin, and it briefly lights up your body's danger maps. Here's the deeper science idea that makes this make sense. Psychologists sometimes talk about humans having something like a behavioral immune system. Before we understood germs, you couldn't fight disease with knowledge, so you fought it with avoidance. If something looked like it might carry illness, bodily fluids, rotting food, weird textures, your brain made you feel disgust, so you'd back off. Disgust is basically your brain saying, I don't have time to run lab tests, we're leaving. Trypophobic images can hijack that system. And it's not just emotional, your visual system is involved. Those clustered patterns tend to have strong contrast in the kinds of busy visual frequencies your brain notices quickly, so they pop out like a warning label. Your brain tags it as potential biological hazard, even when the actual object is a pancake or bubble wrap or a sponge. And not everyone reacts the same way, which is also important. Some people shrug and move on. Other people feel like their soul tried to exit through their elbows. That difference can be influenced by how sensitive you are to disgust in general, your anxiety levels, your past experiences, and how your brain learned to categorize safe versus contaminated. But the key twist is this. Trypophobia often isn't about fear so much as misclassified disgust. Your brain isn't saying this will attack me, it's saying this might infect me. Okay, now let's talk about clowns, because clowns usually don't trigger the disease alarm, they trigger the what are you alarm. Clowns are supposed to be funny, but a lot of people experience them as unsettling, unpredictable, fake-friendly, emotionally confusing, and confusion is not neutral. In the brain, confusion often means proceed with caution. Here's the big concept, the uncanny valley. When something is clearly not human, like a cartoon character, your brain relaxes. When something is clearly human, also fine. But when something is almost human but slightly off, your brain gets uncomfortable. And the reason is pretty simple. Your social brain has specialized hardware for reading faces. All day, without thinking, you're decoding tiny signals. Are they happy? Are they angry? Are they lying? Are they sick? Are they about to punch me? Now imagine you've got this powerful face reading system and someone shows up with a painted-on smile, exaggerated features, frozen emotions, unnatural proportions. Your brain goes, the signals don't match. In brain language, that's called a prediction error. You expected a face to behave like a face, and it doesn't. And prediction errors make your nervous system go, pay attention, something's off. That mismatch can trigger anxiety and even revulsion, because if you misread a face, the cost can be high. Now here's another check. The thing that freaks you out might not be the clown itself, but the lack of information. Humans are prediction machines. A normal smile moves with the cheeks, the eyes, the timing. A clown smile is often literally painted on. It doesn't change. So your brain can't rely on the micro signals it uses every day. And that creates the creepiest combo. It looks friendly, it might not be friendly, and you can't tell. That is the exact recipe for unease. It's like your brain's threat assessment app is buffering, and when it buffers, it tends to assume worst case. Also, clowns mess with more than just the face. Bright colors, weird hair, exaggerated features. Your brain is trying to answer one basic question. What is this thing's intent? And it's not getting clean data. Then add one more layer, learning. Even if Uncanny Valley is the spark, modern culture poured gasoline on it. Scary clown movies, real-world creepy clown panics, that whole idea of a friendly face hiding danger. Your brain is constantly updating its threat models based on stories and experiences. So if you grew up seeing clowns used as villains, your brain may tag clown as a threat category. And once your brain learns clown equals danger, it doesn't need a full clown to set it off. A glimpse of face paint and your body can go alert before you've even finished the thought. Adaptive. Just inconvenient at the circus. So, here's the mind-blowing part. Trypophobia and coulrophobia look like totally different fears, but they share the same underlying theme. Your brain is using fast pattern recognition to protect you, and modern life is tricking it. Holes can trigger a disease avoidance, contamination shortcut. Clowns can trigger an uncanny valley, social prediction breakdown. In both cases, your brain isn't saying this is creepy like it's reviewing a movie. It's saying this pattern matches danger-adjacent categories. React now, think later. And honestly, that's kind of beautiful. It means your brain is vigilant, just sometimes overly cautious. Okay, I need to know, in the comments, which one hits you harder, holes or clowns? And here's a spicy one. What's a weird fear you have that you suspect is actually your brain doing ancient survival math? If you want more of these Your Brain is Running Survival Software deep dives, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you're watching this at night and you suddenly remembered what a clown looks like, yeah, good luck.